All right, here we go. We on the roll. We on the roll. Sci-fi Express Lane taking off. I can't say taking off flight because I'm in my car. But anyway, I want to talk about kind of this pushback, right, on villains and stuff. You know, people bring their liberal and conservative views to comic books and science fiction and movies and entertainment, which is fine. You know, I think that's probably the best place for it. Is nice and open. You know, we're free to express ourselves, and nothing is real. You know, as long as we don't lie about the past, we're good, right? So I think that's the best place for hypotheses to be tried and speculated about. However, you know, there's a lot of pushback on probably not portraying villains as real evil people, right? And I think killing is bad. I think that's a bad thing to do. But I think there's levels of killing, right? There's levels of killing, and you know, of course, there's torture. There's different reasons for it. I remember I had gotten this book from a horror convention that I went to about evil, right? And what evil was. And like horror depends on bad things because that's what makes it horrible. Sometimes it's unfortunate things that just happen, but many times there's a killer involved, there's a bad person involved, and horror depends on that. It's like you can't have a horror film without evil, right? Bad. And the more evil it is, the better the film is, or the story is, or scary. You know, people don't get scared over things that are not evil. Evil is what scares you. Oh my God, it's an evil, comes from Evilina, come from the evilest place. It's the evilest thing. That's like, oh my God, it's so scary. This thing is evil, right? But in reality, what the heck is evil? What the heck is bad? And I met the gentleman, Michael, I believe, I'm gonna say it wrong. He wrote the book on the Sith in the Star Wars universe. In his book, he, you know, it was called The Lost Tribe of the Sith. And the Sith was so big because this was like right around the time of, the second wave of Star Wars trilogy, not the Empire Strikes Back, New Hope, and Return of the Jedi. We knew there was a Sith, but the big villain in the first trilogy was Darth Vader. In the second trilogy, you started talking about the Sith, and you started worrying, what the heck is the Sith? The Old Republic, and all this other stuff. And so the Sith was supposed to be just straight evil people, shysters, cutthroat, you know, the new family member, you know, to take the throne, they got to kill the old family member. Some Game of Thrones stuff, you know, and this was before the Game of Thrones. So I picked up the book. I'm like, well, what is these evil people? And then turned out they raise their families, they get married, they don't smack their wives up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, there's people in America that's more abusive. You know what I'm saying? You don't fall in love if you're evil people. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like, damn. And, you know, it just became harder and harder to find, like, what evil was. And then when you did find, like, evil things, you know, they either had a mysterious origin, like Michael Myers or Jason, and then even in further exploration, you find that they did have an origin and they were victims of something, right? And then the person who victimized them, like Michael's father, you don't know what his backstory is. Freddy Krueger, you don't know what the hell he made him a pedophile. You know what I'm saying? And damn, God just made Jason Voorhees deformed. You know, and same thing with Leatherface. Leatherface, you just realize he was some traumatized, desensitized, meat worker. So he just became desensitized towards life, killing cows and so forth with a sledgehammer. So that's why he was doing what he did. We even try to demonize animals. Shark. What's the one? Jaws. Everybody, Jaws got me caught up in my feelings. Shoot, I might even have to do a video on that. How you scared? Something scared you, because I walked around for years thinking Jaws was just some teeth. Jaws. I was never even listed as one of my top 10 scary movies. It was a good movie though. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Watched all the Jaws movies, 1, 2, 3, and whatever else they tried to do. I watched that. But no, you see Shark Week, and then you start learning more about sharks. You be like, well, dang, the great white ain't even the biggest, baddest dude in the ocean. The killer whales. And the killer whales it's taking out even the Jaws. And then when you watch the killer whale movie, one of my favorites is Orca, he done knocked the shark out the water. And then, like they do in real life, I found out it's a real thing in Shark Week. And then you find out that they're not mean either. They're very intelligent. They're very protective. They're vindictive, like elephants. You mess with them, they're going to come take you out. And that's not evil. That's not evil. I think the animal they said that is the most dangerous is the house cat, because it doesn't kill for food. And the house cat looks the friendliest of all of the little animals. People have them. They're lovable. They don't even have such thing as a guard cat. Dogs is lovable, but cats, there's dogs that use to fight. They don't fight cats. Cats fight, but you don't see them do it. It's the lovable. But they said the cat is the most dangerous animal because it plays and hunts just for sport. The house cat, not even lions, tigers, and cougars and all that, cheetahs. No, the house cat, it's the friendliest cat. The tomcat. Anyway, so it comes back to this question of what is evil? What does evil come from? Sometimes they don't even want to do documentaries on serial killers because they find out that they was abused or something. They had a mental illness. People sometimes just want the evil to be evil so they can feel good about killing the person that did the evil thing, rather than figuring out what caused the evil person to be evil and accepting the societal blame that we should so rightfully accept. That evil people are produced, right? I don't know. I'll look at the most evilest serial killer and find something in there that gives you a clue to why they did what they did. So when it comes to villains, right? People just want a villain to be like this evil person. And to me, in a smart script, evil doesn't make sense for no reason. So then you give the killer a motive, like the Joker. He was abused. Sometimes lessens the fear factor, right? Sometimes I don't know why. I just have ideas of why people want to have these mythically evil characters. Like they say, oh my God, I forgot the term. They're trying to humanize, all of these, every character. They're making them forgot what they call Thanos. But, it kind of started with Thanos, because Thanos wasn't the same Thanos as he was in the comic book. In the comic book, Thanos was trying to please Lady Death. He didn't have no global warming element to him. He was a schizophrenic, because we don't know if Lady Death was real or if she just was in his head, in his mind. But he was trying to please her. That's why he went around killing people, or killing planets and destroying them, or half, whatever. I don't even know if he was doing half in the comic book. He was just a slaughterer for slaughterer's sake. He had a troubled childhood, and But at the end of the day, he's a schizophrenic, so that's a mental illness. And now mental illnesses can be mythical, right? How did you get the mental illness? Or even psychologists will give you some clues to what triggers somebody's mental illness. Even the schizophrenia, psychopath, all those are hormonal or environmental. Just don't appear out of nothing. So now they're looking at the high evolutionary, Kang the Conqueror, new villains that's coming out, and they are, I forgot the word for it. I can't remember. There's a word for it. If I remember it, I'll put it in the title. But they're coming out with these villains that are not just scary. You know what I'm saying? Or they're scary. Let me just take it away. Because I personally believe whether you understand the killer or not, it can still be scary. It don't matter whether Jaws is great whites or natural killers or not. The shark is mad and he's gone crazy and he's going to kill you. I think a lot of it comes down to Hitler, right? You look at Hitler, the most evilest man in the world based on European standards. We African people might say King Leonidas, King Leopold, the one that Hitler served under him. Nobody really studies him, find out what his psychosis is. He killed more Africans than Hitler killed people in general, right? But we don't talk about him. We talk about, we talk about him, but the white people in American history, they don't talk about King Leopold. They talk about his trainee, Hitler, who learned how to use violence and extermination as his technique. But even with Hitler, his manifesto, he wasn't even blurry on his, there's even no confusion. He didn't come from God. He didn't come from out of the womb straight evil. He wrote a whole book explaining why he was mad. He was enraged. He wrote a book called Mein Kampf, right? And in the book translates as My Struggle. It doesn't, you would think they don't even want to translate it for you. Most books get translated, the titles, but they don't want to translate the title of the book because it softens the evilness of Hitler. You know what I'm saying? To me, it don't bring back 6 million Jewish people. It don't bring back the black people that he killed. It don't change his Aryan beliefs. He's still, eugenicist, right? But, they want to take that away. So, to keep you from understanding the evilness, the role that society played in it, it's going to give him an excuse, Jeff. No, he still did what he did. Nobody make him do that. We might have distorted him, you know what I'm saying? But evilness, doesn't have to come from thin air, Well, then if it does, then who created? God? Sheesh. Let people get mad. Let people own their overreactions. Let us own our triggering, our grooming, whatever society does. We got to, they got these school shooters. They don't want you to know that the parents and the school system failed these kids, right? They don't want you to know that. They just want, this is straight evil. That's why he shot up the school. He's evil. He's evil. There's no solution to evil. But if you had a medical condition, now we can early diagnose that. If the parents, if there's gun laws that need changed, then we can address that. But, straight evil, there's nothing you can do. So for me, I do not mind villains in comic books being rationally evil, right? Meaning we understand the mythology, the methodology. We understand their goal. It doesn't matter why, it doesn't matter that I know what caused the Joker to go crazy. If he was an abused child, that's good enough. You know, Thanos was an isolated person, you know, who became really extreme smart. Yo, it is what it is. The scroll, whoever it is, bring it. I don't have a problem with it. That's my piece. All right, y'all, out.